is there more soldiers on the other side of that EMA? Did they go pick up new soldiers? Because, you know, now that it's weak, to kind of give y'all a little background, right? I love trading. I've done trading for a long period of time, and oh, come on, 4:30. Come on. Let's go. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the afternoon version of the trade alerts after the trades. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. That way you can know when I'm back on and drop the gems before it hits all of the main street. You know how the game goes. All right, so the first thing I want to kind of recap is the fact that we broke out of the opening range breakout on the NQ, and it kind of just exploded to the downside. I think there's still some more downside in itself, and the reason is because we got a couple of psychological levels that's down here, and that's over here would be about 25k. I think that's the aim. I'm trying to find myself an entry, but this pullback was a little bit more vicious than I expected, and I kind of walked away, but it already started running before it was all said and done. So we may get another extension to this downside. Look for 25,000 for potential bounce areas. All right. Another one I want to kind of bring to attention is the fact that Bitcoin is under the 89,000, 90,000. I talked about this in numerous successions. If you haven't been subscribed to here, you're just missing out. I've explained this in more ways than one. Let's go ahead and just talk about some of the psychological levels that is here. For example, there's that 90,000, very key in itself. We broke under 87.5, so that's why we're getting a little bit of an extension. Down here is your 85,000 that I think is going to be the aim over here. If you want to doubt me a bit, let's go ahead and look back a little bit, and that's the 85,000 holding it up. And over here, that's the 82,500 that's held it up, and that is your 95,000 that rejected with the 92,500. So these psychological levels are relatively key, and I'm more worried about this one. And actually, I should probably, yeah, 90,000 and 80,000, because that 80,000 will bring us to that Warren Buffett golden number that he wants to have. I think he's talking about 75,000. See if I can get over there without having to change my chart time frame, but looks like I might have to change my chart. Let's just do it. Change the chart time frame. Let's look at here. So I think there's 75,000 is what they're looking for in the middle of November. See if we can get back somewhere around that register, and it's gonna be interesting if we do get there in itself. But you could kind of see the face value, especially with that 95,000. Ever since we touched 127 and some change, we have been on this down slide, and we keep trying to put this to the upside, and we're just bear flagging in the process. I would say just be careful when it comes down to Bitcoin. Let's talk about GC, which is gold. Gold is doing a little bit of a pullback, and I kind of broke this down to a good friend of mine. I was like, I want to see what they do with 390, around that 43.90. If we could break above there, that's my TB2, and you can see it just could not survive to hold that up, and we're starting to flirt with putting some momentum to the downside. I would say just pay attention to that. Now, let's get out of that. Let's go talk about some of the tickers that is going in place. A couple of things that popped up. Let's start with ticker communication. You know what? I forgot about this, and I walked away. I hope this thing did not take off on me. I forgot all about it. Okay, it didn't give a good close entry below. So I was looking to short NVIDIA to the downside. I know it's kind of dangerous to try to short on NVIDIA. You're asking for trouble. But we did get a close below here, but it kind of took off back to the upside on the 15-minute. So when I looked at the 30-minute, this closed below at 10:30. I was waiting for confirmation off of this here, but you can see they just swept it back up. So I'm not going to short NVIDIA here. I think I'm going to just leave this be. It's probably going to go ahead and trigger one of my alerts to say, hey, this trade is done. especially that I'm trying to aim for TP1, which was about a $2 move. But if it does reverse somehow in the middle of today and get back with a 30-minute candle that closes under 176, I would be shorting it. I'll probably keep an eye on that one. Another one I've been looking out for is UNH. I did walk away a bit to kind of see what's going to happen. That was earlier this morning. That would have been the move. You could kind of see we're just building the base over here. So for the most part, it is still viable for more downside on UNH. That's if you want to take this shot, but it did kind of take away some of the sell side liquidity coming up into this level around 340. I would say maybe put your stop at 340 versus 341 because this kind of did close and this 15-minute just started. So this could be a sweep of buy side liquidity. Might be a good trade in itself. Actually, let me go ahead and mark this up because I think that's what we're going to go ahead and roll with. Let me go ahead and put in here UNH. United Health. There we go. I'm gonna go post this real quick while I'm here. Alright, got that. I'm thinking it's gonna be a scalp, so we're probably gonna be dealing with some 1224. I think that's the expiration. Let me go double check that. Make sure. Where's my Thinkorswim? Thinkorswim. There you are. Get my butt back in there. All right. Looking at UNH. And I'm looking for a contract that that is going to hit the 330 next week, 26, December 26, not 24, 26, and 330 contract. Let's see what the open interest kind of looks like over here. Not that great. 335 looks better. 330 is 165 is not bad. 325. I'll say go with 325 only because it looks like it's now. The funny thing about it, there's a lot of volume changing hands on these. I'd rather the 330. I'm just telling you this right now. If you can swing the 330, do it. If you want to be a little cost effective, let's rock out with the 325. That'd probably be a good put. But the goal is we're going to go ahead and sweep this liquidity. The momentum should get us to here. You might be able to get like 20% by the time it touches to here, and then 100% somewhere when it gets to around here. That's how I kind of structured it for the most part. But if you have multiple contracts, aim for the 100%. But if you're going to do one contract, just aim for the 20%. That's the safest thing you can do. But we did close this candle below it. Actually, I might just take this thing. I got some capital tied up already. It's a little bit on the pricier side. I can't do that one, but yeah, I would say if you can just swing that. We're talking about December 26, 12/26, 2025, 330 puts. And this is from the show. I would say moderate risk. It's not too bad. We gotta close. It's just we already know we're dealing with a adverse level of this. They might pivot this and then try to sweep the sell side liquidity. So just understand there is some moderate risk. It's not a clean drop. You might have to give it some time. Moderate risk. Looking for the close below 338.94 to carry us to TP2, so we are in the money. That's what would happen. Not Monty, money. My typing skills terrible since high school. All right, 329 would be the target. Really 330, but you know I'm just gonna put that there. 341 would be your stop loss. And let me go ahead and grab a screen grab. Boom, boom, boom. All right, all this is powered by Trade Hero. 12, 15, 20, 25. Swing. Short swing, actually. It could be a day trade to a certain degree because we are on a 15-minute, but let's do swing. Continuation, knowing that, you know, UNH can move a little wonky. Still going to hold for less than a week, but we're looking for continuation to the downside. All right, perfecto. All right, and let me just go ahead and notify. Boom, 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 boom. All right, and boom, and then there it goes. It's off, just like that. Let's see. Let's talk about Costco. I had a fist fight with this one here. It's almost to my TP1, which is what I'm aiming for. I think it could drop even further. Probably could even get down to like the 843, which I'm planning on holding, especially since I'm not paying for this contract for the most part, right? But if we look at this in its totality, we got a nice little move to this downside. They try to push it back up, hit my stop loss, but I kind of felt good about it, and I felt like this was just retracement. If we look left, actually, I take that back. If we go over to the 2 hour, I noticed something very interesting in Costco. I don't trade a lot of Costco, but it just showed opportunity, and now we got an official close of the 2 hour below my level, and I'm going to extend this out a little bit, which the level was really here, but this was a 15-minute trade that turned into a 2 hour trade because it started kind of go down the time frames a bit. Looking at this to continue, look at that Stoke is pointing down, MACD is pointing down. If I could get one more 2 hour candle to do what I wanted to do, which is kind of break this 862, we're probably going to go down to like 843. So I think there is some opportunity to this downside, and it's only based on this 15-minute. If you can get as close to this 875, you could then short it. It's a little overheated, so I think there might be a little bit of a pull up, but I'm thinking that the pull up already happened, especially with this W pattern. Profits already taken, and we could get a nice little solid drop, having a little bit of an H pattern continuation on the bear side of the MACD. The 2 hour is technically still bearish, but again, this can start to put in like bullish divergences, so just be careful. Don't risk something that you don't mind losing. All right, let's go a little bit further. Oh, actually, all of this happened today. All right, let's run through it. We got ourselves a firm. Firm on the 15-minute was suggesting something along the lines of a short over here, but lately this thing has been mixed bag of a signal. You can kind of see if it was supposed to short, especially with this bearish move to the downside on the MACD, then that means we should have closed below this level. No entry, no trade. That's what I see so far. It hasn't signaled to say that the trade is dead, but for the most part, it is kind of fighting. NVIDIA, on the opposite side, for the 15-minute, it was actually bullish because they swept a lot of buy-side liquidity here, and I think that's why they kind of pushed this thing to the upside. So we're going to go ahead and see how this closes, which it did attempt, and then they liquidated. If this 15-minute closes above again, that could put some real pressure on my original puts of these 30-minute on the short side. So we'll see how this pans out. Did I go over? I think I did go over Uber, but we're gonna go over Uber. I think I broke it down. Oh yeah, because we kind of gapped it down and going for the TP2. There's just letting you know, hey, TP2 is established. If you weathered this storm, yeah, we kind of broke that down with this solid M pattern. Good to go. Start taking some of your profits off the table. This was the Costco that I was telling you, like it was telling me to get out, but I really felt confident that they was going to get past this wick here. So that's why it looks like that. And then we got ourselves Google that came in, and that was from the end of the day on Friday, I think. Yeah, it's 12. End of the day, it was saying to sell Google, and you could kind of see we was breaking pivots all throughout that. That was a really, really good trade, especially when we kind of broke this. Looks like a H pattern or a double decker H. You got a little hump and then a second hump as they were breaking structure, bear flag, extension, retrace, and then now we get real close to TP2. You should be out of this trade based on the parameters that the fact that TP2 has hit. But yeah, this was a very, very interesting trade because at first it told you to play it to the upside at 12 o'clock, which was right on 12 o'clock on the 12th. Where are you? 12 o'clock on the 12th. Am I on Nemesis? No, I'm not on Nemesis. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there we go. Okay, so we had we had push to the upside, and then it said to reverse. Okay, so now I'm getting my bearings a little bit. This was an older trade that panned out. So you had to push to the upside, then it said to reverse. We did gap up, but if you stuck with it, that extended down to here. You would have made 2 to 1, 2 to 1, just like that. All right, so that is my scalps. Let's go ahead and check out the swing trades. Let's see what popped up over here. Pan W. Oh man, this thing right here. Little upset because I wanted to play it. The options was a little too juiced for me, so I wasn't happy with that. And then I walked away, and then it showed solid option contracts, but then it was too far away from my entry. I think it was roughly around here on that day. And if I caught this spike on Friday, I might have caught something. But I wasn't looking at it at the time, and I was really waiting for the entry to happen again, and that didn't happen. But it got to TP1, so if you did get in it, want a little bit more of a riskier trade, you should be out of it, and you should be happy with the money that you made. What else I got for y'all? Celsius. Actually, I'm bouncing all over the place. Celsius, this one has hit its TP2 after hitting TP1, so you should be happy with your Celsius if you took that trade. And Rigetti, this is in the computing space for quantum computing. That's the way I wanted to say. And you could see nice little extension on this downside. The entry was based on this parameter, and you would have got TP1 a couple times. If you had some runners, you should be out of your runners. By now, we are at support, so don't give the money back. All right. And I think I covered everything. Oh, Galaxy. So I kind of told y'all this earlier this morning on Galaxy that it was setting up to a downside based on Friday. If you stuck with it, it would have looked something like this. I know it's in the share side. I don't know how the options look, but if you do find some options that make sense, the target was $22. The opening of today gave us the middle of the action. So if you caught a retracement and then got the TP1, you should be happy on Galaxy shorts. That said, I kind of went through everything. If you have any questions, don't forget to DM me on Instagram, JD_the_great. Also, go ahead and message me on YouTube. I know I got a couple people that ask questions. If you do want to, hey, what's going on? Peace and blessings. Appreciate you tapping in. If you want to go ahead and sign up, the form will be provided. Just DM me so that way we can find out if you're fit, because this is a very friends and family Discord, and I want to make sure I get the right people in there. So by all means, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you this afternoon on the updates of the alerts. All right. Have a great day.